Good morning, students. Today we'll start yet another poem by Vyloppilli Sreedhara Menon, The Son of Sahyan. Malayalam original, it is known as Sahyante Makan. Um, you might have learned poems by Vyloppilli in your smaller classes, right? And the very famous poem you might be knowing is Mambalam, right? Um, the story of a mother beating her child, her baby, like a young child, when he tries to pull off these budding um, flowers in that mango tree, and how after he dies a premature death, the sorrow of the mother. Mm, you know, we actually wept with the mother when we read the poem, right? In our lower classes. So, if you have read the poems by Vyloppilli, you will know that he brings in a new or a certain um, grace to his poems, a kind of a new sensibility to his poems, um, and suffuse it with emotions. The words used, the choice of words are quite simple, but at the same time, it haunts us. The images or the even those words would haunt us for a long time, and it's also quite melodious. Yeah. We find it easier to recite and remember because it's in a sing-song manner, right? Vyloppilli actually belonged to the progressive writers movement, and in the late 19th century, late 20th century, and he was one of those progressive writers, along with P. Kunyiraman Nair and Idasheri Govindan Nair, who brought about radical changes to the poetic sensibility of the period before modernism. So, he, along with these writers, occupy the transition period, uh, which fills a gap between romanticism and modernism. They were like the ushers of the modern period. They have both the sensibilities, subtle sensibilities of romantic period, as well as the some of the experimental techniques used in the modern period. So that is about Vyloppilli. This particular poem is taken from his collection Kannikoitha, which was published in his early periods, um, in around 1947, that period. Um, and This poem is about, obviously, about an elephant. You might be seeing here, right? About an elephant um, who gets caught in his fantasies, and he weaves a web of imagination. He creates a lot of figments of his imagination and gets caught in those imaginations, and he has a he's horribly caught in that. I am not going to talk about the end. Obviously, you would have um, guessed it, but still, um, it's about the elephant thinking about its happy childhood, free from all the shackles of the modern society. It remembers and thinks about reveling in the forest and being carefree and running around and having food, all these things, and mating with his the other elephants, and wandering here and there, and finally, no, he cannot imagine himself being shackled by culture. So basically, the question is about liberty. You know, um, to talk about the poem, finally he loses the touch with the world of reality and becomes a victim of his own fantasy. And as I said, the poem is about liberty, that is the freedom to live or to move around and all those things. We usually think that liberty or freedom is only applicable to human beings, right? Um, Maybe because we are more of an anthropocentric society, um, you know, um, liberty is one of those uh, requisites of humanism, which makes our society a civilized one. But at the same time, humanism doesn't consider the feelings or the value of life of animals. We consider these animals only as products or consumable goods or things which are made for our enjoyment. And that is the kind of question that's addressed through this poem, where the poet makes us wonder if liberty or freedom is something that's only for humans, or should we consider these animals or the beasts as well, or also as our brothers? Should we give value to these animals as well? So, this is just a general introduction. We'll move into the poem. Before that, what are your um, opinions, or what are your takes, or you know opinions about elephants? Elephant is actually an inevitable part of our life, right? Especially festivals, and we consider elephants as being part of our um, culture, tradition, and even our a great part of the human society, because we use them for number of you know getting a lot of things works done, and at the same time it's also a symbol of tradition or grandeur, and it's part of religion, and many cultural uh, things are actually um, you know part of elephants are part of many of these cultural things. So it is quite difficult for us to imagine any festival without an elephant. It means that the festival will not have the kind of grandeur or glory that we imagine it to have. So we have to uh, think deeply on this issue. Are elephants a requirement, or is it um, compulsory that we have elephants? We use elephants for such festivals and all these things. So basically, the question is, should these elephants be sent out in the wild to live on its own, or should we, get them to the human world, um, to the settlements, and take care of them? So this is basically the question. I have included a few pictures for you to see, because basically see, these are some cute pictures of elephants. We do not consider elephant like like other animals that we use in our life. Like it's not like a cow or a dog or anything like that. Elephants are totally different. In the sense, it has ability to think a lot like human beings. We have seen videos of elephants painting pictures, right? So here you have a picture. This is Uma and Bhama. And maybe if you use TikTok and all, you will know, or even if you use other social medias, there were news of this small girl, like around 1 or 2 years old girl, who is taken care of by this huge elephant. Um, the elephant's name is Uma, and this is Bhama. So that's always elephant always strikes a very deep connection with human beings. You might have seen the films like Guruvayur Keshavan, right? You might have heard stories of elephants where elephants take care of human beings, or they do no they doing some favor them doing some favor for human beings, right from very small age. We would have heard at least one story about an elephant, like the story of an elephant and a tailor, right? That's something that my son watches these days. He's only 2 years old, but still, it is his favorite animal and his favorite cartoon. So I see that even he is very much attracted to this animal. If I give him some play toys or something, or some other animals or some other things, he wouldn't look at it. No, he would just throw it away and go play something else. If it is that of an elephant, he's very much hooked to it, and he'll take it wherever he goes. So we see that even small children are very much attracted to this giant creature. So what could be the reason for that? So here are a few pictures, and lately we have also come across a very gruesome story, a news of an elephant, dying in somewhere in Palakkad district, I think. You know, after blasting, eating a pineapple and blasting its mouth. So there are some stories like that as well. There are stories of elephants going berserk during festivals. Then, especially there's a saying like the mahot. Mahot is the papa, right? Mahot. The wage of the mahot, or the salary of mahot, is known as kolachor, because he could get attacked or by an elephant anytime. But at the same time, we have also heard about stories of deep relationship between elephants and the mahots or human beings. So some of the pictures, look how cute they are. So basically, I have used this picture especially because it shows how this is a very magnificent elephant. The interesting thing is that um, there are many uh, what you can say fans, people who are very much attracted to elephants, that they know the names and all the details of lot of elephants in Kerala. It's also becoming an endangered species these days. So here I've used this picture because you can see I'm about a person who he's not even half the size of this giant creature. There's another adage which says ആനയ്ക്ക് ആനയുടെ വലിപ്പം അറിയില്ല, right? Because if he knows it, he wouldn't be able to control this giant creature with a small weapon like this. It's known as toti, right? There is another person on top of this elephant. The elephant is used, no, like it is even killed for its um, long, what's the name?